But even though most schools, especially public schools, meet this target and sometimes even go beyond, how do they do it? Some of them organize weekend classes. Some of them have remedial classes. Yes, you have the double shift, but the double shift is designed in such a way that any lost time, coupled with the other activities I mentioned earlier on, teachers and head teachers, school managers are well trained to the extent that they are able to cater for this lost time through their different methods. But most common of them is the holding of remedial classes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benga. Samuel?
Thank you very much, Ma'am Tamsin Jai. Mr. Lamin Jaite, you are Senior Education Officer responsible for Human Resource Affairs. Can you tell us if there are mechanisms in place to ensure that teachers who are posted to various schools go to those schools? And how do you go about this, if there are any mechanisms?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba. Good evening, viewers. Let me first of all welcome all of you for this important forum, the Regional Bantaba Back to School. With regards human resource redeployment to schools, we do start it very early during the third term, sometime in April, where we make it so participatory. We send proposals to schools for individual teachers to choose whether they are to stay in their former schools or whether they are opting to go to other schools or other regions based on reasons. So these proposals are supported by the head teachers and sent to the region. As a region, we also have a posting committee supervised by the regional director and chaired by the principal education officer. We do invite representative of head teachers and also the Gambia Teachers Union representative. We look at all the proposals and approve accordingly. It is our regional policy that we do not want any teacher to pay 2 fares to travel to his school or her school. If we can do it, we normally approve movement of teachers from one school to another within the region to minimize cost. This is one of our regional policy. From the regional level, we move to the Human Resource Directorate for a bilateral posting discussion with the personnel of the Human Resource Directorate, where we do also exchange some of important issues with regards teachers who have health problems, teachers who have domestic problems, and may want to move out to one school to another or from one region to another. This is what we call inter-regional postings. From there, all the regions will converge at the Human Resource Directorate to have what we call multilateral postings, whereby we exchange teachers who want to move from one region to another and also distribute the Gambia College graduates among regions and post them accordingly. In addition, we also look at teachers' requests who want to retain teacher trainees in the region, and we'll forward this to HR so that the quota of staff that we are going to have in the region, we are assured that they are going to stay in the region and will work in the region. That will minimize teachers saying, I do not want region 1, I want to go to region 2 or 5. From there, we move to the national postings, which is the biggest one, where we look at seniority and move teachers to responsible positions like acting head teachers, and teachers from other regions may come to region 1, teachers from region 2 also may go to other regions, to other regions. But what is more important here is that we ensure that the posting is published well enough, school reopens, so that teachers will know their postings. If they are still not happy with their postings, we do welcome them to come and negotiate with them. Sometimes we do what we call swap agreement between two teachers. A teacher may be in Region 6 but may want to come to Region 1, and the other one in 1 wants to go to 6. They can write a swapping agreement, and we endorse this and we go ahead. When school reopens, we are assured that the teachers posted to their school will go to their respective schools because it's their choice of postings.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jaite. Mr. Baukar Mbenga, Basiru Mbenga, sorry for that. Of course, recently some schools were closed down in regions 1 and 2. Of course, can you tell us how your region has been responding to this? Have you been encountering problems of absorbing some of the students in the affected schools into other schools?
Thank you very much, Samuel, again, for that brilliant question. I was just pondering this morning that this might be an issue because we know it has been a very important topic when we first released the list of schools that were to be closed and those that were to operate, allowed to operate. As soon as we got the press release, this region, where most of these schools are found, prepared series of memos, some to our own officers who would use that to update our database regarding the number of schools and their various levels. Then we also send memos to the cluster monitors, showing them the schools that are closed and those that are allowed to operate, so that they can go back to their various clusters and enforce closure. Notwithstanding, you must agree by now that some schools are below standard, and some are raised not only for pedagogic reasons, but for business. They are a source of lucrative business. And for that reason, they didn't care much whether they will appoint qualified teachers, whether they will buy adequate teaching and learning resources, whether the learning environment is even conducive enough to support learning. Now, when we resume, all the monitors went around their clusters, taking down schools that were closed and are found to be operating. I haven't got any report yet though, but I hope they will be going around and cover all those schools that were supposed to close and ensure that they are closed. Otherwise, we will have to send the report to the appropriate authorities. Now, since the closure happened, we had more of the proprietors coming to the region asking us to help them reopen rather than parents coming to discuss issues of placement. However, in that same memo that we sent to the monitors, it was indicated clearly that parents should be informed that if they have placement problems, they must contact the regional directorate as soon as they possibly can. But as I speak to you now, I haven't got that report or parents approaching me. Rather, we get more requests for assistance in terms of scholarship and sponsorship rather than placement. Nonetheless, our doors are still open. If you have your children that were in a school that is already closed and hasn't got a place up to now, do contact the regional directorate on 4392853, or you call 7364648 or 3501218.
Mr. Benga, it seems that you're well prepared. You talk about placement of children without schools. So how prepared are you, in terms of, placement for those kids?
Yeah, as I said, we haven't got any requests yet, and I don't think it is a major issue. Otherwise, we would have been approached since some of these schools were closed. But up to now, since we reopened on Monday, no parent has ever come here to request for placement for his or her child, right? Since we do not have that report, it doesn't mean that we have not set our strategies.